Micah 4 and verse 9 says this, is there not a king in thee? What a great question. Is there not a king in thee? Pastor Bill Wilson, who pastors Metro World Child, the largest ministry to children in the world. His background is that his dad had died when he was very young. His mom was a prostitute. And at 12 years of age, she finally said, I've had enough. I can't do this anymore. She gave up, takes him to a street corner in a small town in Florida, and she drops him off. She says, wait here until I return. 1 day went by, 2 days went by, 3 days went by. His mom never returned. A nearby mechanic would notice this battered boy, this skinny, starving boy on the park bench. And on Sunday morning, he was on his way to church, looked over and he saw that boy sitting on the park bench, and he rolls down his window and says, hey, do you want to come to church with me? The young boy says, of course. Jumps in the car, goes to church, gets saved. That Sunday, they were sending their kids off to church camp. And so they sent Bill Wilson to church camp where he got saved, and God began to give him a promise about his future. He came back, no chance of life ever seeming normal again. He's an orphan. The church gave him a little odds and ends job, and for 6 years he was hidden there in that little Assembly of God church where he served and he gave and he sacrificed. That church raised him in many ways. He would then go to Southeastern University, get his theology degree. He would go to work with Tommy Barnett for many years, and eventually in 1979 he would go to Brunswick, New York, one of the most rough parts of the city of New York. And when he showed up, all he had was a bear costume, a bullhorn, and a station wagon, and he would begin to reach the kids of New York City. He was beaten, shot, stabbed, hospitalized on multiple occasions. But to this day, he lives in that very neighborhood. He walks those very streets. He still drives the buses to pick up his kids, to bring them to church. He still lives in that same area. And not only does he reach 30,000 children every single week in New York City, but that ministry has expanded to 12 different countries around the world and 1,000 cities, and reaches 250,000 children every week. Wow. Because a young orphan, stringy hair, so skinny you wouldn't believe it, found out there was a king in him. Found out there was something great in him. And if that little orphan boy who was rejected, dad gone, mom a prostitute, could find the king in them, what's your excuse? What's my excuse? What are the reasons we can come up with? Is there not a king in thee? Quit putting yourself down. Quit saying you're inadequate. Quit saying that there's no reason you can do something great because of how unworthy you feel or the tremendous challenges you face. There is a king in you, and that's why you never back down. That's why you keep on moving, because there is a king in you, and you can do all things through the king on the inside of you who strengthens you.